Okay, we are live and we're a little bit late. Had some technical difficulties with the streaming setup here. Had to create another event, and this time it looks like we have gone live. We are on the air, and I'm going back and I'm going to delete the other event so that folks don't get confused. And that'll just take me a moment here, and hopefully everybody that was in the chat will come on over. Come on over, and you've got the SBGY002 on screen right now, the gold stunner on screen. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the other upcoming event. And let's see here. Delete. About to delete one unit. Delete forever. Okay, all right, so I've just deleted the other unit, and let me refresh here and see if I can get on the chat. Let's see here. Okay, and we are on the chat, and I see Brad from Tech Webcast in the house. Blue is in the house. Kyle is in the house. So some folks came on over, share it on Twitter. I usually don't share the live streams, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to, Brad. These are just kind of like we kind of hang out. I don't really share these on most of the social media. This is kind of like a special group here that gets together and has a little hangout. But if you'd like to share it, you're more than welcome. And let's see, looking forward to seeing. Oh, somebody's got something to share. Blue has something to share. Oh, he got the watch. Whoa. Do email pictures, or it didn't happen, right? So here we go again. We're up at $23,000 on a Bitcoin. One Bitcoin, 23,000. And so what do you guys think? We're up in the price territory where one Bitcoin could buy a late model Date 8. We're talking the Date 8s with the ceramic sleeve in the bracelet at this point. We're at $23,400, right? That can certainly buy one of those. I think Dudley paid, I want to say he paid $28,000 for his 40 mil Date 8 brand new. So folks, check and see. I haven't had time to check. I didn't check, but can somebody check and see what a late model, when I say late model, a Date 8 with the ceramic sleeves. I think it's got to be 2018 or newer. Does anybody know when they went to the ceramic sleeves? I know they went to it first in the 40 mil Date 8, I believe, and then I believe they went to it in the 36 mil Date 8. Maybe somebody knows the timing on that, when that happened, and maybe we can get some pricing to see if that would be a possibility. One Bitcoin for a late model Date 8 in yellow gold, 18 karat yellow gold. What do you guys think about that? And Blue's sending an email. And here's the thing. If there's a jeweler that's selling said watch and accepts Bitcoin, I know there are some jewelers that actually do accept Bitcoin, then theoretically, not financial advice here, theoretically you could send a Bitcoin to them and get the watch and not really tell anybody about it. In other words, that huge capital gain that you made on that Bitcoin, maybe you could dodge paying that. Hey, I'm not suggesting that anybody do that. I'm just saying that maybe that would be a possibility that somebody could do that. What do you guys think about that? That really makes things interesting. Makes things very interesting. Interesting indeed, folks. What do you think about that concept of buying it direct from the seller with Bitcoin? Not having to go through an exchange and sell your Bitcoin, which of course would be reported. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Whoa. We got to take a moment and take that in. That is a stunner. Stunner alert on the channel. Let's zoom in on that. Holy mackerel. whoa. And I believe that has the screw down crown. That is stunning. That is absolutely stunning. Now, he's wearing it, I guess, on his right wrist. I don't think I could handle that. I think I'd have to have it on my left wrist. But, you know, either way, it is freaking gorgeous. Gorgeous looking piece. Do tell. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about that. All I can say is wow. Mic is a little hot. Okay. Let's see. Mic 1. Let me turn it down a little bit. All right, I turned it down a little bit, and I'll try not to talk quite so loud also. Okay. Carlos says, seems reasonable, $28K for yellow gold. I paid $29.5 for my white gold new. They go for around 23 to 26K, says Lance. So yeah, we're getting into the price territory where one Bitcoin could buy a day date. What do you guys think about that? Is that pretty outrageous? Let's see. Craig here, definitely not giving financial advice. That's correct. No financial advice on this channel. Let's see. I just do what I do. And some people do follow what I do and go ahead and do the same thing. I think that's called best practices. Is that what that's called? Best practices? Something like that? Maybe somebody can chime in on the chat and see if that's the right term there. R. Wags is in the house. Hi, Chip. Hi, everybody. Nice leather vest. This is that Schott leather vest that I have. I tell you, it's cool in here. I have the heat way down, and it is a little chilly in here, and so this makes the difference. Having this thing on, it really makes you feel quite a bit warmer. When I'm sitting down like this, I like to have it unbuttoned. It's more comfortable. I can button it up. It will button, but it's a little bit snug when I'm sitting down, I have to admit. So more comfortable to have it unbuttoned. Screw down crown, zoom in more. Okay. Well, if I zoom in more, we're going to lose quality at some point here, folks. Whoa. Maybe not. That looks pretty good. Whoa. Let's go in a little more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that puppy. Look at that. Wow. I say, wow, wow, wow. Okay. And our wag says, beautiful watch. Okay, so there's a couple of things. I had this guy, and I said I'd talk about it on today's show. I think I'm a little bit overexposed. I'm going to bring the exposure down a little bit on that camera. Just give me a moment here, folks. Okay. Little slight adjustment there on the exposure. I think I'm still a little bit overexposed, though. Oh, well. I'll leave it the way it is. I'll play with that another time. Let's see. I got a different camera set up here. I've got my old A7S Mark II with a 40 millimeter Voigtlander, however you pronounce it, lens, manual focus lens. So a slightly different setup. Let's see. Kyle's in the house. I learned from a young age that you wear a watch on the wrist you do not write with. Not sure if that is correct. I am right-handed, so I wear my watch on my left wrist. Maybe. Well, no, you wear it on your left because that's where the crown is. It's very awkward to reach around and get the crown the other way. It's designed to be worn on the left. That's why the crown is there, right? I think that's the reason why you wear it on your left wrist, whether you're left or right-handed. Now, an Apple Watch, I think you can switch it. Is that right? You can switch the way the crown is. Is that right? I don't know. I'm confused. Anyway, sent an email. Lance, we will look at it. I wear on either wrist. Never an issue on me. So you're ambidextrous. Ambidextrous? Is that right? Craig, did you make a day date purchase? Derek in the house. Hey, we're talking about day dates. You tuned in to the right show. Carlos is in the house. You already have pre-owned platinum day date at current BTC price. Platinum, but not with the ceramic sleeves. We're talking about late model with the ceramic sleeves, Carlos. So let's stay on topic. Okay, so this guy made some comments on one of the videos about the masks. I talked about the masks, and I said that, if you look at the data, if you look at the information, the places where they've worn the most masks have had the worst outcome, have had the highest level of infections, the highest death rates, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then he comes back, of course, with the reply that you would expect, somebody that hasn't looked at the data. He comes back and he says, no, the reason they're wearing masks, the reason more people are wearing masks in those areas is because they were hard hit. Well, no, I mean, you can compare states that are similar in demographics and a lot of things, and you can look at the ones that, had high levels of draconian lockdowns and rules and must wear mask everywhere and so on and so forth, and they're harder hit. Same thing happened in Europe. See, here's the problem with masks, and a lot of the people that want to look at the facts and want to be honest about things will tell you that most people are clueless when it comes to wearing masks. They don't know how to do it right. Okay, they touch their face all the time. They adjust the mask. Their hands are always around their face. And this is why there's higher rates of infection in areas where there's a lot of mask wearing, is that people just don't know what they're doing. They're not like hospital technicians that are trained and properly use the masks. Sure, the mask, when you breathe out, sure, it will stop the projection of the virus somewhat, right? But the virus still gets around. This virus is pretty good about getting around, right? It still gets around. And if people are wearing masks and they're touching their face a lot, they're going to get it. And so that's what we've seen is areas where there's a lot of mask wearing, a lot of people get infected. So it is what it is. It's typical government, unforeseen consequences of their rules, right? They come up with all these rules and so forth, and there's always consequences that they did not foresee. So that's what the data is showing us. Okay, so David's in the house, and a bunch of people are saying Merry Christmas. You two can't believe it's here already. Okay, the lowest price that I can see for day date 40 platinum pre-owned is 38.5. At this rate, you can be there before 2021. So Carlos thinks that the Bitcoin's going to keep going up in price. He's all of a sudden a Bitcoin bull, short term. Okay, so what do you think, Carlos? Do you think this is becoming real? Do you think that institutional buyers are coming in and this thing is becoming respectable, this Bitcoin thing, and that in fact it's going to be around a while and might be a real thing? Do you think that that's possible? That's happening? Interesting to know. So there's this other video that a subscriber sent over, and these two ladies, I guess they're psychiatrists or psychologists or something or whatever. They psychoanalyzed me. They did like a 1 hour show psychoanalyzing this show and me, right? And they used all kinds of terms when they were talking about the show that I have no clue what they were talking about. I wish they would have explained some of those terms and what they meant and so on, because it's kind of not easy to really tell. But it was kind of funny. They did get several things way wrong, even though they clearly watched a lot of the shows. They watched either parts of a lot of shows or a lot of shows. They spent a lot of time watching my shows. So thank you for that, young ladies. Their video about me, though, only has like 80, it had 87 views on it when I watched it, and it's been up for a while, right? So anyway, they don't get very many views. But they did some analyzing of the show that was kind of interesting. One thing they missed on, they said that I'm a Bitcoin trader. Now, I've always said buy and hold. I didn't say you should be trading, because traders usually get burned. But anyway, they got that wrong. But they talked about a lot of things about the channel. And they were impressed that I know how to push buttons, right? Right? That I can push buttons. They were impressed about that. I'm like, is that they think that's a big deal? What the hell? I don't know, folks. And they also commented on the fact that I read all the comments, right? But they also got another thing wrong where they said that that when somebody asks about a particular watch, I will say something like, I don't want to look at that watch, you know, forget about it or whatever. But you guys know on this channel, I have always allowed people to email in photos of watches. I'll always take a look at a watch. Even if it's a watch I don't like, I'll take a look at it. Now, I'll say that it's an ugly watch and you shouldn't buy it, but I will look at anything. So they got that a little bit wrong. They got a few things wrong, but it was kind of funny. The whole thing was kind of funny. So I watched it. It's out there. And 66 says, good point about the masks. Clivester got the COVID. Yeah, he called me and we talked about it. And he took all the precautions. Goes to show the only way to avoid it is to curl up in a ball at home and never leave. There you go. Carlos says, or have a good, solid immune system, right? Most people either don't get it or get mild symptoms and get over it and hardly even know they had it. That's most people, like, 99% or something. So, Carlos, no, I do not think that, but I still cannot see the value of BTC, but it seems other people do. Well, Carlos, okay, let me just take a moment. The value is the network. Do you see the value of Facebook? Facebook is a network, right, of people sharing photos and doing things and so on and so forth. Bitcoin is simply a network where you can transfer value from one person to another around the world. That's what it is. It's a network, and that network is continuing to grow and continuing to build out. And as long as it continues to grow and continues to build out, then the price of Bitcoin has to go up, right? If the network stops growing and slows down and stops functioning properly and other things start happening, then the price should go down, right? But in the meantime, since it is a still relatively small market cap, it's going to be very volatile, right? Because it's a small market cap, just like Amazon stock was volatile in the early days, right? So I don't know why that's so hard to understand. The value is the network. Simple as that. It's a network, right? And part of it is it has to be very secure because it's dealing with money, people's money, right? So it has to be very secure, and the security is first rate. And so that adds to the value, right? That's part of the network, is the quality of the security. People pay a lot of money to put money in gold and to have it in a vault somewhere. They pay a lot of money for that security, right? They give value to that security. And so I think that's the value, Carlos. I don't think it's that complicated, really. Our Wags is in the house. Craig, I don't see a Christmas tree or any Christmas decor. What's up? I don't have any up. I may go down to the Durwood estate, and it is up there. I might be going down there for Christmas. I haven't decided yet. I may be lazy and not go down, but I might. Let's see. Bill's in the house. Bitcoin, obviously. Oh, so Bitcoin. So Bill would buy the Bitcoin as opposed to the gold Rolex. Okay, there we go. We got a vote for one Bitcoin versus the gold Rolex. Clive is in the house. This is probably the fake Clive. Feeling better now, Trump 2024. That's probably not the real Clive. Carlos, what is the title of that video? I assume they are amazed how a weird bunch we are. They didn't really talk that much about the audience. They talked mainly about moi. So maybe maybe Be You Serve can put the link in the chat in case you guys want to check it out. He's got the link. David's in the house. Who was critiquing your channel, Craig? The couple of ladies. Yeah. Kyle's in the house. I think it was the last video. Let's see. Hi, old friend David Williams and Carlos. Merry Christmas, our wags. I think Craig should critique their channel now. Well, they have very few subscribers, and their videos don't do much. So I did invite them. I did comment on the video, and I did invite them to Skype into the show sometime and talk about it. So, but they haven't responded yet to my comment. That's one tip I will give them. Always respond to all comments. Okay, those are all signals to Facebook, to YouTube, right? That it's an active channel when you reply to everybody's comments, and they like that, and they'll push your videos out to more people because you're interacting, right? That's one of the signals that they look at. Let's see here. Those ladies were pretty much calling you masculine control freak, which sounds like a good thing to me. Yeah, is that what all those terms mean? Yeah, they did kind of like make it clear that I like things organized a certain way, and that I like, yeah, that's kind of like my personality. And they're right. Yeah, I'm very funny about things. I like to keep things kind of neat and organized, and I like to, you know, and then they also brought up the thing about me saying that you could buy like high quality clothing at like thrift stores and maybe on eBay and stuff like that. But one thing they didn't understand, one of the main points when I talked about those kinds of things, is some of the things, the high quality items like Brooks Brothers 100% cotton shirts made in USA, they don't sell those anymore. So sometimes you have to go to the used market to get the super high quality item because they simply don't make them new anymore. And that's a thing they didn't get. They didn't understand from that whole message was, my thing is you seek out the quality wherever you can find it, right? And sometimes you have no choice but to go to the used market on some things because it just simply may not be available anymore. So there you go. Let's see. The guy that was critiquing his name, Guide 504, he has six subscribers and no kind of. Well, that's a different one then. I haven't seen that one. This is two ladies. Craig, will you cut your own tree down? They had Cut Your Own Tree at Maine's Tree Farm, which is a sponsor on Frederick.com. They do that every year, but they're out of trees at this point. So, I don't do all that stuff anymore. Yeah. I'm not a big one on all the holidays and all that stuff. To me, each day is about the same as it is. Sometimes these holidays are just an inconvenience because, you know, everybody's on the road, a lot of traffic, a lot of issues. So, yeah, I kind of do my own thing. Bill's in the house. Well, I don't know much about Rolex, sadly. Maybe someday. But I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term. But, okay, I'm living off my investment for the past year or so. Wish I didn't have to sell most of my investment. Yeah, it's not good to be selling, especially if it's BTC. You don't want to be selling that. But BTC has allowed me to live as an artist for the past year or so. Bill in the house. Okay, but I'm saddened that you've had to sell. And Carlos says, thank you, Abuser. Okay, RWAGs, I will send an email soon. Okay. RWAGs, Craig, a very enjoyable broadcast week was when you were broadcasting a couple of years ago from the Durwood Estate. Lots of Christmas decorations, if I remember correctly. Yes, yes, yes. That was fun. Okay. Simpler setup, though. I had a one-camera setup, but yeah. Let's see. P.S. Love your Hillbilly Gypsies video. I used to play Trey Buckner's open mic in Morgantown, West Virginia. Great guy. Yeah, one of those videos has close to 1 million views. It's got 900 and some odd thousand views. I've shot them at several events. I shot them first at the event down in Lucchese, Virginia. Luckett's Fair or whatever, Bluegrass Festival, I think that's what they call it. And that video did really well. So then I bumped into them at another event, and they were, oh, hey, good to see you, and so on, right? So I did a video there, and then I bumped into them at the Rockville Car Show, and once again, they were like really glad to see me. And so they, after their performance, they were kind enough to step off to the side and do a special performance for me to just shoot a video. And that's the one that has close to 900,000 views. No, more than 900,000, getting up close to 1 million. Carlos in the house, they're the Hillbilly Gypsies, in case anybody wants to check it out. And you could probably just search Bluegrass on my channel and you'll see all the videos. It is incomplete to analyze the weirdness on this channel, restricting it to the host. Yeah, I don't know why they would have left out. Well, they did mention the Wrench Gang. They did mention the Wrench Gang, but they didn't get specific about anything. Be served, The Unforgiven. Okay, Clive. I like the shows where we went through stupid comments. I'm going to have to bring that back. I'm going to have to start doing that some more because I'm getting a number of them. I'm getting a number of comments that do qualify. Let's go to Lance's emails here. I'm getting some stupid comments, folks. I'm absolutely getting that. Oh, Lance. Lance coming up with something. We've looked at these before. This is very, very similar to the watch that Brianna has, but with a gold bracelet. Man, that's a lot of money. But this has the 2017 and newer dial. So, yeah. It's SBGX 218. It's very, very similar to the watch that Lady Brianna has, a different color dial. But, man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Let's see if they tell the size. 36.5 millimeters, so it's a little bigger than her watch. Okay, and it is a 9F, which I like for a dress watch. But it's got a screw case back, so it doesn't have the 4 screws, so that's good. Yeah, if somebody could find one of these at a deal, that would be kind of cool. You could get one of these at a deal, but that's a lot of money. It's got dual trigger clasp. That'd be a fun dress watch. Absolutely, that would be a fun dress watch. So, good find, but too much money, in my opinion. Of course, everything's going to get expensive in U.S. dollars because they're devaluing the dollar. They're printing them as fast as they can print. Oh boy! And they're going to send out a bunch more money. They're going to spend another $1 trillion because they can. Let's see. Here's a Patek, and even more money. Even more money, but it's a nice looker. It's a nice looker. Now, does anybody know, are those bracelets pretty robust on those? Do they hold up, or do they have the same stretch issue? that a lot of gold bracelets have. Kind of cool. Kind of cool, kind of cool, kind of cool. I have to tell you, it's a beauty. I like this case design better than the 5196. I think it looks better from the side. See how rounded it looks and all? See how the side view looks? I like this case design. That is nice. That's a stunner. Okay, let's see what the size of that is. See if they have some more info down here. It's a 5146 IJ, 39 mil, so it's a decent size. Decent, as they would say, modern size. That could be an all-arounder right there. But people have said that they're not very reliable, that they give trouble, the Pateks. That would scare me. That would scare me. Arwag says, I've always wondered why some people wear their watch under their wrist as opposed to the top. That's a good point. Yeah, I've seen that. An old friend of mine that was an admiral, he wore his on the underside of the wrist. Maybe some people just feel more comfortable looking at it that way, you know, turning it like that to look at it. But yeah, I would think it would get kind of beat up. But of course, if you have a sapphire crystal, they're pretty good about not getting scratched. Let's take a close-up of the 231. Stunner there. The 002 on the bench. A rare occurrence where the 002 is on the bench, but looking stunning on the bench. Let's see. Okay. Craig has forgiven Serve at least 2 times. I don't know what you mean by it. LOL. The Unforgiven is a Metallica song I've been listening to a lot lately. Kyle's in the house. I love that GS. If that had the spring drive and screw down crown, it would be perfect. Well, but see, here's the problem. It would be thicker with the spring drive. So, I don't know. Quartz gold watch, yes. And I think for a dress watch, I think the 9F is a really good move. I tell you the truth, in a lot of ways, I would rather my 002 had the 9F. Now, that is cool that it has that spring drive, that sweep of that second hand. But, you know, with the 9F, you never have to worry about winding it. It's just a grab-and-go watch. It's spot-on accurate all the time. I mean, there's a lot to be said about and never having to worry about ever servicing it. Of course, I don't think I'll ever have to service the spring drive either. There's a lot to be said for a 9F, I say. Let's see. Blue says never a perfect watch. What was the cost on that gold 9F? Well, we just looked at it. Let me pull it up here again. If I can find it. Here we go. Here we go. 27,800 USD. US dollars. It's a pricey puppy. Craig, what's the titanium stunner lug width? It takes a 22 millimeter bracelet, I believe. I believe that's correct. The proportions are beautiful. I mean, they just nailed it with this watch. I swear, it's the finest dress watch. It's the finest diver's watch ever constructed by man. I mean, there's just no diver's watch that even comes close to the 231. The 231 stunner on wrist. It's super comfortable. Great heavy use sport watch. Not an all-arounder by any means, but a heavy use sport watch. RWAGs, people in the armed forces do because it's easier to look at when they are carrying a rifle. Okay. So maybe that's why the Admiral wore his like that. 27K, wow, says Kevin. Well, hey, the U.S. dollar is a shrinking violet. It is going down, down, down. Michael Saylor says he thinks the U.S. dollar is losing 20% of its spending value, like in the last year or something. I mean, it's just he came out with a huge number. He doesn't buy this 2 to 3% annual inflation number. He thinks it's much worse than that. So yeah. Lance is in the house. I'm pretty sure it's a Japan market only watch. That's why it's so expensive. Very hard to find one. Yeah. I wonder if you went to Japan and you went to a bunch of those stores that sell Grand Seikos, I wonder if that watch would be there and it would be like a lot less money. I wonder if that would be the case. And you know, in Japan, they love Bitcoin. A lot of places there, I think, would probably be tickled pink to take your Bitcoin for a watch sale. So, yeah, that's interesting. All right, what else? Oh, excuse me. Oh, okay. So we produced some videos, some new videos with Brianna, and a couple of review videos are up on the A7S Mark III. I really like that camera. I'm getting comfortable with it. It is heavier than my Mark II was, but I'm getting used to it, and the AF is amazing. The IAF, where it nails right on the eyeball. I'm shooting a lot of shots at f1.4 that normally I might have backed off and gone with f2.8 or even f4, but now I can feel comfortable shooting at f1.4 and knowing it's going to nail focus on that eyeball. So that is 2 big thumbs up on the A7S Mark III camera. That was a good move to upgrade to that. I'm hoping they upgrade the APS-C camera and come out with a something like a A7000S, you know, basically a APS-C camera with all the same upgrades that they put into the A7S Mark III. That would be fantastic, because then I could upgrade my my APS-C camera. That's a crop sensor, right? I could upgrade that camera to all the newest tech. That would be cool if they did that. I think David SW accepts BTC. Yeah, I think are they the one that's down that are down in Miami? I heard there's one down in Miami that accepts it also. So I don't know if it's the same one. I don't know where David SW is located. Easy to see inflation at the grocery store. I think I'm noticing some things at Costco going up pretty significantly. I think I'm noticing that, yes. And I normally don't pay much attention to that sort of thing, but I think I've been noticing it. Kyle, what's your take? Are you noticing some prices going up? Kevin, Texas was pretty good. I had been there a few times before, but only to Dallas. Corpus Christi was cool. Okay. There you go. And I hope next you're going to check out Sarasota, Florida, but you want to go in the wintertime. Yes, that's when you want to go there. Let me think what else. Let me pull up, just pull up and see if there's anything I'm forgetting. Oh, I haven't heard from HD Straps on a ship day. Obviously, he was working on my straps. There's a picture, you know, from like a week ago of him working on the straps, and I gotta get another email over to him and see when he's gonna ship those things to us, because Brianna really needs hers, because her strap is way too big on her watch, but I don't really need them, but it'd be nice to have them just so I can show them on the channel also. David SW is in Orlando. I purchased. Okay, I remember now. Yes. Good folks. Kyle's in the house. I heard they may be issuing a 40mm diver next year. GS, if it was just like the 231 but slightly smaller, that would be nice. Yeah, but they got to make it thinner. It's got to be thinner, because if it's smaller and it's it's still this same thickness and it's going to really look thick, right? So if they make it smaller, they got to also make it correspondingly thinner. At least shave a millimeter off the height, right? Take it down to 13 mils from 14 mils would make a difference, I think. But yeah, that would be good for people that want the smaller diver, absolutely. So with the new movement, they should be able to make it a little thinner. Kyle's in the house. I noticed it when I think back to pricing from 15 years ago or so. Okay. Well, yeah. And see, here's the thing. The inflation has kind of been hidden by innovation, right? I mean, things like flat screen TVs, for example, have gotten cheaper, right? And computers like Apple, when they keep issuing a new, upgraded, much better computer, it's usually at the same price. In other words, they're not increasing the price of the computer, but they're giving you a much better computer. And that's not because the dollar has held value. That's just because they've been innovating so much as far as improving the components and everything and keeping the prices down. And folks that argue against the fact that there's a lot of inflation happening, those are the kind of examples they use, right? Is things like that really have not been increasing in price. But the counter argument to them is, well, if the dollar was holding strong, then those items would be cheaper. They would be dropping in price quite a bit, right? Because innovation makes it cheaper and easier to make these things, right? The things that have not fallen in price are things that require a lot of labor, a lot of handwork to make, and things like that amazing 002 Grand Seiko, right? It's the commodity items that can easily be mass-produced that have tended to fall in price or give you more for your dollar, things that are mass-produced. iPhones, for example, yeah, the prices are high, but they've been pretty high consistently for a while, right? And so it's innovation that allows them to give you much more for your money on things like that, not the fact that the dollar is holding up. All right, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up. It's 5:48. We've been going at it almost an hour. If anybody has any other photos to send in, I don't know when Steve's going to do a show. Obviously, this is his busy time. All the last-minute shoppers are coming in and buying things for their loved ones. So don't know when he's going to get on and do a show. I did get a picture, full transparency on this channel. I did get a call about the FOPE bracelet that's on order for Brianna, and it looks like it will not be here for Christmas. But I told Linda, I said, that's no big deal. That's no big deal. We're not in a hurry. When it comes, it comes. She says it's in customs, though. It is in the country. It is in customs. Here's another link that was sent on this black resin strap. Yeah, I wouldn't put a strap on my diver's watch. I love the bracelet. I love the bracelet on this one. Let's see here. Sent you a link to a GS rubber strap to critique. I didn't even know they made them. Well, yeah, the divers, some of the divers' watches actually come with a strap in the box. Absolutely. And for people that like straps, yeah, fine, but I would just go with the I'd stick with the bracelet personally. Craig, no, not yet. Oh, don't stop the show. Derek, you missed the beginning of the show. We were talking about the fact that you could buy a Date 8 now, a late model Date 8 with a ceramic sleeve in the center link of the bracelet for around the price of 1 Bitcoin. What do you think about that? Let's see. Tell us about your vest. This is a Schott. Schott. It's spelled Schott. I think is how they spell it. These are made in New York. This one is made in USA. I think some of their stuff now is made overseas, so be careful. But this one was made in the US. It's very comfortable. It's very warm. It helps with the warmth. Let's see. I'm going to be wearing vests and sweaters and or sport coats for the rest of the winter just to stay warm. So heads up, I will be wearing things like that for the duration of the winter. They did comment, one of them said, he always dresses in a full suit and so on and so forth. And the other one says, well, not always, you know. That's right, not always. I don't always wear a suit. I sometimes do, but certainly not always. Let's see here. Especially these days when I'm not out and about doing work out in the community because everybody's scared to death. I mean, I'm not wearing my suits that much anymore, unfortunately. I'd like to be out there doing stuff. I really would, but they're all scared to death. Everybody's scared. Let's see. Craig, please explain the seams on the vest. Well, they're well stitched. I will say that. Let's see if I can cut to the camera and give you a close-up. Got to slide over a little bit. I think you guys are playing a game here. I think you guys are trying to trick me into staying on air longer. I think that's what you guys are doing, asking me about seams on the vest. That's tricky. That's a good one. That's a good one. Craig, please don't go. Okay. Are they solely for aesthetics or aesthetics comfort? Oh, you mean the seams? No, I think the seams are just, they seam pieces of leather together, right? And it's decorative. I think it just makes it look interesting. But generally speaking, seams are not a good thing because they can come apart, right? But I guess if they do it right, like this one's pretty well made, I guess if they do it right, they're probably okay. But generally speaking, you probably don't want a lot of seams, right? Let's see. Email me if interested in any used AP. Now accepting Bitcoin, Clive. Let's see. Oh, a bunch of messages were deleted. Was somebody misbehaving? Somebody was given a timeout. Somebody was giving a timeout. Let's see. And hidden. Somebody was hidden. Oh, the wrench gang. The wrench gang came to action. Action. Let's see. I'm serious because you always tell us to get seamless belts and boots. Oh, okay. I hear you. Well, especially on the alligator belts. I've had alligator belts where they had a seam and where that is the place that failed on the belt, right? Now, on an alligator belt, that is a problem. I mean, a lot of them, they do seam multiple pieces of the hide together to make the belt because it's obviously more expensive to cut one long piece that's like 40 inches long, right, and make that belt out of that one long piece. So yes, you want to search out and try to find the ones that don't have a seam. And on boots, I agree, they flex a lot and all that. So if you can have that upper have as few seams as possible, absolutely do that. Yeah. But in this case, it's pretty well stitched. I think it's going to hold up pretty good, and it does make it look interesting. So I don't think it's as big a deal on something like this. Don't think it's going to come apart that easily. So, and these aren't terribly expensive, these vests. Again, you got to be really careful that a lot of them are now made overseas, so I probably wouldn't go that direction. But if you can find one made in the USA, I don't think they're terribly expensive. And I think they're comfortable. I like a vest because your arms are still very easy to move and very free, but yet it does keep you warm. It keeps your core kind of warm just to have something like this on. So I can probably have this place 10 degrees cooler if I have a vest on versus not having it on. That's kind of the difference it makes. And at the end of the day, that's going to save a lot of money, right? A lot of money. Let's see. Trashy Larry, I need a job. Lance, okay. Lance is going to hire Trashy Larry. Chip, when am I getting elevated to mod status? Trashy Larry, well, you got to have 3 members of the wrench gang vouch for you. They have to vouch for you in order for you to get a wrench. So, okay, we're gone. We've done about an hour, so we're going to wrap it up. Wrap it up, and we will see. Hopefully, I'll be able to do a show again tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Is that vest black or brown? It is sort of like a brownish. It's definitely brown, but it has a little bit of an oxblood tint to it a little bit. It's kind of an unusual color. I like it. It's nice. It's different. It's got really good grain to it. It's a good looking. It's kind of versatile. It can go a little bit with, like if I was wearing the 002 with the black strap, it would kind of go with that. It's kind of a like in between color a little bit. Almost like the red cherry boots are kind of like can go brown or blackish, you know. So it's kind of an interesting color. You guys are asking questions just to try to keep me on the channel longer. I see what you're doing here. Tell us about that brown color with oxblood. Derek, you're really something. I'll tell you what. So next time you should come. Oh, Blue says he's voting for Trashy. He's voting for Trashy. All right, we'll take this up in the next show as to whether or not Trashy Larry should get a wrench. We'll take it up in the next show. Meanwhile, over and out. We're signing off. The shirt could be a Brooks Brothers or Willis and Geiger. This shirt is a Kenneth Gordon, a Heritage Collection. Kenneth Gordon. So there you go. Somebody has a black suede vest. Cool. But I feel kind of silly wearing it like a pretend cowboy. Well, you gotta have the whole package together. Absolutely. All right, carry on, everybody.